Welcome to a new Unorthocast episode. And in today's episode, we are talking about making movies in Minecraft with the one and only PlazmaHero. So hit that like button and subscribe and lean back for this discussion. All right, welcome, people, to a new episode of Unorthocast. And in today's episode, we are having with us the one and the only PlazmaHero. And in today's episode, we are going to talk about lore creation, making movies. We are going to talk about content creation, because Plasma doesn't do content creation the same way that everyone else does. And then we're also not gonna get killed by zombies. I can't
Oh
really.
no.
Yeah, it's nighttime. Can someone sleep? Yeah. Oof.
Yay.
Hey, for someone that slept. And now people listening in on our other platforms on like Spotify, they don't like, what are they talking about? Welcome, Plasma. Welcome into the podcast. How are you?
Hello. I'm doing well.
So
I,
you're doing well. That's good.
yes.
How has the start been to your
Good.
season 4?
It's been great. I have been celebrated my birthday too many times to count, and I'm slowly working on my first episode and realize that I've got actually about 3 episodes worth of content recorded.
That's
so yeah, it's been a lot of fun. There's been a lot of shenanigans and bits happening, so I'm just
by the way, happy birthday.
okay. Well,
I had to.
I'll add that to the tally.
Yeah. The first question I always ask, or I've done it 2 times in 2 episodes, so now it's always, why is the block upside down?
We can't read, and we also can't draw. We just can't use our hands like at all.
No, it's
eyes.
Really...
Eyes or hands. I don't know why I stuck with hands. Yeah, it's like we were given a prompt to draw Minecraft, and we couldn't remember which way the block went, and so
or we did it in Australia.
That too, yeah. We've got enough people over there. They took the lead on it, and then they sent it to us, and we're like, this looks close enough.
Yeah, we were like, yeah, okay, why not?
Yeah, sure. It looks fun.
Yeah, it was fun. So, are you ready to delve into PlazmaHero today?
That's a dangerous topic, but yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. So, firstly, how did you start with Minecraft content creation?
So I started my channel that I'm currently posting videos on is the first place I ever made Minecraft content on. I've used Minecraft to assist in other content I've made on other channels. But it started out as a way for me to tell some stories in a very different way, because I wasn't feeling very, I guess, narratively fulfilled. Like, I wasn't able to do what exactly I wanted to do on the medium I was originally doing. So I gave Minecraft a shot, and that started the story of Lone Hero. And then I got an invite to the MC Collab station and joined Soul Plus, and one thing led to another, and now I'm here. And yeah, it's just a lot of how can I tell stories and trying to integrate it into what I do.
Yeah. All right. What inspired you to focus on making lore content rather than, can I say, like classical Minecraft content creation?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, Part of it is because when it comes to creating art, I always think of my stuff in terms of stories. Like what is the story I am trying to tell here? And it's just something that I've always done. I remember playing like all through my childhood of like playing with Legos with my brothers. And we would come up with wacky stories where we had, you know, those big bad evil guys that we would send our probably overpowered characters on adventures to defeat. And it just carried over into my Minecraft content because I joke about it a lot is that I'm not a builder. Is that's not my specialty. And so I focus on the storytelling to because that's what I enjoy the most, and that's what I that is like my form of art that I bring to Minecraft. Whereas other people, like, you know, they do the redstone contraptions and they do the pretty mansions and stuff, but I want to do the I want to bring the emotion with the adventure. I think
Yeah,
is that.
I mean, that's what's the biggest challenges to like when you make like your content. I mean, when I make like content,
Mm-hmm.
I put up like OBS and then I press record and then I say some stuff and then I go into like a time lapse of building and then that time lapse is done. I say some stuff and then
Yeah.
I say goodbye. That's basically how a classic YouTube content, Minecraft content creator does it. What's your challenges?
Yeah. So I'm trying to think of challenges. Um the like I think the biggest challenges I face are the lengths I push my medium, I guess. Um so on a I'd say an average episode, I try to incorporate two elements of a story. And usually what I'll do is I'll do something at the beginning and something at the end of my episode. And then the middle, that'll be your kind of average Minecraft video of like, I went to the Nether and raided ancient city. Wait, those don't line up, but you know, like
Yeah.
your adventure or whatever. And but at the beginning, it'll be like dark in the dark, mysterious caves of the underworld, and then at the end, it'll, you know, set up for the next episode or something. Um, but the challenge, I think, that comes with a lot of it is um, communicating that what I want to do in those story segments.
Mm.
When I am imagining those scenes in my head and stuff, I do a lot of it in dialogue. Um, and like so with scenes like at the end of my Unorthoblock season, I had a scene where Ice Hero essentially said my Plasma Hero I was playing told the Timeless Trickster, I can't have you in my town anymore. You need to leave. And I had all the dialogue imagined, but it's the problem I have a lot is I rarely have visual ideas of what happens. Sometimes there's a key moment or something, um, but it's a lot of dialogue is what I dream up, and so that's one of my big challenges that I'm working towards. That's one of my focuses of this season that I want to focus on is the visual aspects of scenes and such. Is
How,
the yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
How do you like stay motivated during these challenges? Like how do you keep yourself going, so to speak?
Mm-hmm. Um, I know one aspect is definitely all the like appreciation, like the love from the community. It's definitely nice to like see that people actually understand what I'm trying to do. And they're like, you know, getting invested in it. And so there's some of that, but also most of it is I always have moments in my episode where I am have an idea, and whether it's like been something I been planning for a while or like a spur of the moment thought, and it's those like clicks that happen, and it works so well. Um, and then there's also just the um, a passion for telling the story um, that like you set out to tell this story like on Orthodox season 3 I wanted to tell a story of somebody who's very insecure about who they were, and there I was always trying to push that in some way, and it ultimately turned out to be like he doesn't want to be like I didn't want to be the hero of the server. I didn't believe in myself that I was really special. um and so it's when you figure out the ways to um, do it well, um, you have that passion to share that with others. And so I think it's a lot of like self motivation, like doing it um, because I love this and I want to share it with others, even regardless of how much people enjoy it. Because I think I've had some bits that didn't quite land as well that I hoped, but I still love them to death.
Yeah.
And it's that like you can't depend on others for your own satisfaction.
That was a little bit more of you talking about your ethos on how you make videos and why, basically, the content creation. And now we are gonna go to the how you make them. So first
Oh
question I
no.
have for you is, what are the key elements that go into making a successful, I don't know why that word is so hard, Minecraft movie?
So successful key elements of a successful video. I would say if a video is success, if I find success in one of my videos, it is um, where I was successfully able to move the story I had planned along to where I had wanted it, or in a direction that worked well for my story. Because I know there are times when I have had videos where it went in a very different direction than I had originally intended, but actually that's kind of cool, and it opened up new possibilities to show new aspects of the characters or the world. um that's one of the things I love, is just the things that come up spontaneously. But yeah, a successful episode would be ones that are um they carry the story through to to the destination, I guess, to the narrative destination I was intending.
Yeah. All right. How do you then go on and plan your videos? And you are you using like a storyboard, or what kind of tools do you use to plan it? Like the planning
Yeah.
stage?
So in honesty, it kind of depends on the project.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm still working on my Fever Dream series, which was, you know, technically Fever Dream happened at the beginning of the year. But for my process for doing that is a lot of it is scripting right now, and I am scripting out the like more cinematic scenes, as I call them, um, for like the beginning and ends of my episodes. Um, but when it comes to Unorthodox episodes, that's a lot more feel where it's going, kind of improvise, like, okay, I think I can nudge it in this direction or that to help it go in the correct direction. And so I go in with a plan. I knew for my first episode, I'm going to open up with this sort of scene, and I'm going to transition with this character and go into Sunny's speech at the beginning.
Yeah.
Um, but um, when it comes to the rest of the episode, like especially for day one, I know there's no way I'm predicting what's going to happen on day one. If you asked me like the day before day one, like what my like expectation for the day, I would not have told you that I was gonna get stuck with Flezzy and Jay and Lily and Pears and get the Sims bear stuck on my head, and we were gonna do a trial chamber run on day one, and like, there's no way I would have predicted any of that, and so the little story elements that are going to be throughout the episode are stuff that I had ideas for while recording, but also that I'm finding as I'm editing. And that's one of the fun parts, is that as you're editing, you can find, oh wait, this is a great spot to interject this a little bit. And so that's usually my progress. I think for a more normal episode, I go in with a bit more of a plan. I take an early episode from last season. I think it was my third episode. Bex hired me to put a hole in the nether roof. And so I knew that I think if I'm remembering correctly, I wanted to open up with a prank that was on my base, and then I would go do the nether roof excavation thing, and right in the middle of that, I wanted to throw in a scene with Trix, where he would be confusing and very conflicting messages and slightly manipulative. And in honesty, with those sorts of scenes, I usually film the cinematic scenes afterwards. So it's like I punch the hole in the nether roof, and after that scene, it cuts to me exiting the nether, like going through the 3 portal. That's just because I don't want continuity of like actually leaving. And so then I went back like a night or two later with Jay, and Jay body doubled for Trix. And then and we filmed that. And that was a very different way of filming than I do it now. But a lot of it is go back to the location after I filmed most of the episode, and do the body doubling and stuff. Although there are exceptions with episodes like my Unorthocast finale for the last season, where I had to film all those scenes as the episode, like all the more cinematic scenes as the episode was being filmed. Because I needed the progression of locations to being built. I don't know if I think that answers your question.
It does. My follow-up to this is, because not everyone does lore on this server, is it more challenging on this server to make lore type of episodes than it would be on a server? I guess you have already answered that. Really, it's hard.
Yeah,
it's more challenging to do it here. Because
it's. I mean, I imagine it's a bit of both. But I've never played on a like story centered server. Like I played on Metroverse, and I played on Soul Plus, and I played on Fever Dream, both Fever Dreams, but I wasn't super active in either Fever Dream. And then I played in Unorthocast Season 3, and now I'm here. So like I don't have a huge history of like experimenting with SMPs to find the perfect fit for me or whatever. But when it comes to Unorthocast, like what I enjoy is that as much as I'm able to do my crazy fun story, I'm not again, I don't have experience in a story focused server, but it's not like every time I'm on camera I'm expected to be in character, and so I can go on fun adventures and be a bit more casual and more hang out with friends. because as much as I do love my story, I do love the like hang out with friends and stuff. And so I'll go on wacky adventures where you know, I'll be in Jam's floorboards or something. Which is yeah, that's an episode coming, a segment of the next episode coming.
Ooh, teasers.
Where I'm just in his floorboards. And stuff. And usually, like, unless it's, I don't usually include it in my videos if it's too like lore breaky. Like, you never see Ice Hero in season 3 like throwing fireballs, or something, or like being a pyromaniac with flint and steel. But then I can have those moments where I am very story focused. And I'll ask people to help me out. A lot of scenes with Amelia last season are those where it's like, hey, I need a scene where I can be moved in this direction or to pursue this goal or something. And there's always somebody who's like, yeah, I'll join in.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good balance on Unorthoblocks, really.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I think you're doing great. I think it's always fun to see you when you are around and doing and see how you get everything together in an episode. It's really interesting because you have another stance to most content creators out on YouTube, because I don't feel like the lore content creation really has taken off yet. I think it's coming. I think you're onto something. I think it's going there more and more. But
yeah, there's not a whole, especially when it comes to YouTube. I know there are like a lot of streamed servers. I'm not going to name any off the top of my head because I'm not 100% sure and I don't want to be completely wrong. But I know there are some more like streamed SMPs that are a bit more story focused. But when it comes to YouTube, even a lot of the bigger ones, you think of like Hermitcraft and such, like honestly, Empire's SMP, the first season specifically, was like the most story focused SMP.
yeah.
And it really has remained that since. And so I definitely think it's I guess like a genre of Minecraft content, like a subgenre that is starting to rise. But it's a lot of smaller creators, which is honestly like it's kind of like saying, it's the independent movie like production studios, like the indie studios, who aren't in the big groups. They're the smaller ones who really have these big ideas, and so they're just doing their thing. And I think that soon it'll rise, and you'll start to see those more popular ones. Maybe not on Hermitcraft, but there will be servers out there that are grow up and take off. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even Hermitcraft for like a few seasons ago, they try to be more lore based in some I
Was
mean,
it
they
season
like
8 or something?
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you have for example the moon story where the moon just got bigger and bigger. That was a lore. You have the civil wars and stuff like that. But they don't go the full. They don't do
Yeah.
it 100%. They do it as I think it's like a byproduct rather than main product.
I have two beliefs when it comes to stories. Is that especially when it comes to, I think especially when it comes to Minecraft content, but really any video form content, is that if you're making a video, you're making a story.
Yeah.
It might not be a like movie kind of story, but even if it's something like a tutorial video, you are making a story on how this was constructed. And the other thing is that my other belief is that it is more rare to find a Minecraft creator who, like, it is incredibly hard to find a Minecraft creator who does nothing story related. Like
No.
absolutely nothing, because you like I've seen it in your builds even, that you have talked about, like this is the idea behind it, whether
Yeah.
it's like um it's not, I don't think most people consider it lore, but essentially it is what the purpose of this build is such. And like it was designed for this purpose. You think about I'm trying really hard to think of examples, but even like the dinosaurs last season all around the server, like that was because it was supposed to be like the land before time dinosaurs and stuff. And you have all sorts of jokes, and those arise because of story. They grew from just a simple joke or something into something bigger. And so um yeah, they
Yeah.
all like, even Hermitcraft does have those plot lines, those little subplots or whatever. They have those wars, but they don't. They had, my bet might be that the genre hasn't risen as much, so they haven't tried to go that there. But I don't think most of them are interested in doing that. Super dramatic, intense story focus.
No,
Um,
I think like other gamers from other games like GTA, for example, GTA 5 has a big lore content that
mhm.
they are doing. I think Minecraft, I think we have been so long into YouTube, like YouTube and Minecraft is like such a big thing, and I think we are
Mhm.
stuck in this thing. So I agree with you. I think like everything when you do, like you and me, we are not maybe the same outside this this place. I mean, we are not firstly
I mean,
made.
you're a teacher and I'm still a student, so there's
So,
a bit of difference
yeah.
here.
So basically, and also we are like whenever we do like our characters, or
Hmm.
they are going through their challenges throughout the season, even though we don't do it
Hmm.
as a lore. I mean, Teach as
Yeah.
a character does have a character arc that like
Hmm.
rises, and sometimes he's happy, sometimes he's sad, but it is a character really.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, I think I agree. Last question for this segment is how do
Hmm.
you no that's yeah, let's go to the right question, Teach. What tools and software do you use for filming and editing?
Oh, okay. We're getting we're getting the good
We
stuff.
yeah,
Okay.
we're going in depth.
Oh, it's deep cuts. All right.
Yeah.
So I think I use the very rare recording software that nobody's heard of. It's this little thing called OBS. Um,
We don't
and
use it here.
then um, I also use this really niche. It's got a lot of hate for it for some reason. Is replay mod
Oh.
for a lot of my videos. Um, Fun fact, um, it took me about a quarter of my Unorthoblock season to actually learn how to use replay mod correctly. What I was essentially doing, like through Metroverse and the beginning of Unorthoblocks, was I would go into F1 and replay mod, and I would just use OBS to record my like spectator perspective. And so, because I didn't understand how to do the like time framing, like time stamping, and the camera positioning. Now all my stuff is done correctly, but yeah, no, I totally used that wrong.
Yeah.
Um, and then for editing software, I use Adobe Premiere Pro because I have a student discount on all Adobe products, and it's amazing. And my nice computer has been recently upgraded because I nearly blew it up from the multiverse special I did in November last year. So it can handle all my hundreds of files that I toss at it for a single video.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you use like After Effects also a little bit, or is it just
um, Not so much now. I am taking After Effects classes, and so my hope is to start using After Effects some in the future, like throughout the season. I would love to figure out ways to incorporate that. But I haven't so much yet. And the other thing I use is apparently this isn't normal, and I found out a month or so ago is I use Adobe Illustrator to make my thumbnails.
I mean,
Instead of Adobe Photoshop.
I don't even use any of them. I use
What do you use?
Canva.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to thumbnails, it's use whatever. I think it works. Illustrator.
Yeah.
I can see Illustrator. Illustrator is a good software.
I mean, it's mostly because I do very simplistic. Like I take a pretty photo and I slap a number and a logo on it, and that's basically it.
Yeah,
I'm not doing a whole, like, only a couple times have I done like overlays and stuff. And honestly, with thumbnails that were more complex, like my the multiverse special I did last year, most of that was done in Premiere. Like the thumbnail was done in Premiere because I understand my video editing software better than Illustrator.
Yeah.
So
I
use whatever.
I last year I got to know how to make an intro. You know, you do an like
Yeah.
use effects and transitions. I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Premiere Pro is mainly the biggest with OBS that everyone uses. Replay mod. If you're a Minecraft content creator, you have to use replay mod. It's a must.
There's no other option.
They're literally
get in line or get out.
Yeah. I mean, you can use DaVinci Resolve if you want.
Yeah. DaVinci Resolve, CapCut. There's a lot of.
I think Jam actually does all his videos in CapCut.
Yeah.
Which is
he does.
Yeah. And, I think replay mods has to have a competitor because right now they are pretty much.
I think there is a competitor. They were talking about it some in the Discord the other day. Is that there's a Flashback.
Oh.
Is it still in demo? I think. Like it's not a fully completed yet, but there's a new one, and it's got some very clear differences from Replay Mod. In that it works more like a server. Like the replay file works more like a server. So you can alter the world and stuff, which is wild, but also that's like some cool ideas to change the world.
I
but then I also know.
I think competitions. Sorry? I think competitions is always a good thing when it comes to mods. You see, like you had Optifine for so long, like it was the only thing you had to have Optifine before, and then Sodium came along and made like it made Optifine think, oh, we need to think.
Yeah. We gotta work for our money now.
Yeah. Or it's still free.
Big quotation marks around money.
Yeah. I mean, they make money though. I think.
Yeah.
So now we've talked about your storytelling a little bit and your movie making more. Let's go into your lore making now. And how do you approach world building and lore creation in Minecraft or in general, really?
Okay. Usually, I'm a big fan of character-driven stories. So, 90% of the worlds and stories in my stories start from a character idea. So, Unorthodox Season 3, my character idea was I want an ice wizard, and an ice wizard who's insecure, basically. I have, and then I have like the professor storyline. It was a man who, like a kind of like a scientist, like a very intelligent individual that whenever they die, they like respawn in a new world, essentially. But I then need a place for them to come from, and so with Ice Hero, it's like, okay, well, where does a kid with ice magic come from? And so, what if it's normal? What if like ice magic isn't the normal thing? But magic itself is still normal, and so he comes from a place that has fire magic, and then you expand it. Well, those are elves that have the fire magic, and they don't like people with ice magic, and so then you have a very fantastical world because it's elves, and then you expand it, and so it's all centered around the character, though, of making this character shine against the world they came from. I'm trying to think what other stories I can give examples of without spoiling much. But I mean, even this season, I can spoil this because I've been joking around a lot. Is that this character, desaturated plasma, is dead? That was my premise. I want to play a character who is dead. And I won't spoil why he's dead, or how he's dead, or why he's still kind of alive. But like that's the premise of the character, and so the whole, the story and the world, like kind of like the pocket world he lives in. Like he lives in the world of Unorthodox, but his, I guess, perception of the world, my take on the story of Unorthodox, is centered around his character and also the other buddy, the doppelganger that will make an appearance, and kind of their clash of ideals, and such. And so it's all story focused and used to make those characters shine a lot.
Yeah. Well, I like that. That was a good answer. Good answer.
Thank you.
But do you like have like a notepad or anything where you like, so you keep everything, like when you do your episodes, because they have history and
yeah,
your character is in this world is alive, really, like in Minecraft it's a living person, really. So it has memories and stuff like that. So how do you maintain this consistency in your videos?
a whole lot of improv, and there's a certain amount of like just memory, of like, it's like you remember things you're passionate about a lot. I know when I'm talking with Jam all the time, I'll be like, oh yeah, we did that thing in season 3, and he's like, oh yeah, that was episode 55 or whatever, and I'm like, how do you know it's that episode? It's because he enjoys doing it all a lot. And okay, 57, my bad. But like it will it's just because he loves that. I can't pin my episodes down, but I can pin them down by scene. And so when it comes to the like backgrounds of characters, I spend a lot of time working on them. I don't do so much writing. I do occasionally, like, I have a stack of like notebook paper in my bedroom, in my bookshelf next to my desk, and so all the time I'll snag a sheet of paper and I'll just write at the top like season 4 lore ideas. And I know in some preparation for season 4, I was going through a ton of ideas, and I was like, okay, what character do I want to bring back, or what character do I want to play? And I have a whole list of ideas that I've written down. ranging from like very silly, almost joke characters, to characters that are wacky and unique. Like one I don't think I'll ever do, but it's basically like a tie-dye fighter, like a hippie TIE fighter pilot. It's a really wacky idea I had one night. And it's like I don't think that'll ever happen, but I think it'd be a really fun character to pull out one day. But I have all these character ideas.
A hippie
Sorry?
TIE fighter. Yeah, that's
Yeah, hippie TIE fighter. Like my idea is like he has like the TIE fighter, or not TIE fighter, but he looked. I'd use a like stormtrooper design, but his like armor would be like it'd have that like tie-dye look to it. And then he'd have his like TIE fighter, but it looks more like a van, like a hippie van kind of thing.
You shouldn't be there, man.
Yeah.
You weren't there, man.
You want some blue milk, dude?
Yeah. I don't like you. Love and peace.
Yeah.
When Darth Vader is
peace, love, and empire, dude.
Yeah. When Darth Vader is like, you have to bomb this, but like, no, I don't believe in that, dude.
Man, the Wookiees are so cool, dude.
He would be killed at first. He would be.
Yeah, no, he would not last long in the Empire.
Darth Vader was like, no.
Get him out of here.
Yeah. He would.
But yeah, it's with the characters. I spend a lot of time like writing down like ideas for the backstory. I know I also like pitch it to a handful of people. And I will occasionally like tease things to people, and sometimes it's because I like honestly I'm like talking with them and brainstorming stuff for the future, but I also use it as a bit of like, how does this idea really work? Like, what is your reaction to this? I know I've teased some stuff to like Jay. He was helping, him and Emilio were helping me on the short I posted yesterday with the happy birthday, and Jay like immediately picked up on like there are some strange implications with these lyrics if you're making this into a video, like. And so it's a lot of like practice and repetition. You get it ingrained into your brain, and then you improvise it a lot. There are countless things that I have improvised that became like deep elements of a character. And I can't name them off the top of my head because now it's just fact about the character. But I know there were also some bits that like because of improv they get dropped easily. But it's both ways. The flaming tree is a great example of improv. That was me being like chaotic on Metroverse, and like there's a tree here. I'm gonna set it on fire because I'm a villain, and then Jam retaliates, and now we have a war, and it travels to Unorthocast, except not with Jam anymore, and so now I'm an arch nemesis of Amelia, and it all stemmed from a little joke I did by myself in my video. And and so it's a lot of improv, but it also bleeds into the backstory of characters, with stuff like I'm really trying to rack my brain for an example. I think the reason why Ice Hero wears goggles was something that was improvised on a stream once, or the original idea was improvised in a stream once, is that he bought goggles from like a traveler who visited his hometown, and he didn't want people to see that his eyes glowed blue when he did magic, and so he bought some red goggles because that fit with the themes of fire of his home people, and but he uses it to hide the ice magic that he has, and also because he's insecure and stuff. But yeah, it's like little examples, like little instances like that where I pull something out of the hat, and yeah, you know what? I think that actually fits.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. Um, we have actually, like, for real, for this episode, because we have gone through really the current trends in Minecraft content creation. We have already talked about that.
Yeah.
Um, what advice would you give to someone just starting out as a Minecraft content creator?
Always do what you want to, like, don't feel pressured to fall into a system. I don't like saying do what you want to do because that's a very chaotic statement, but it's don't feel pressured to fall into a system. I've caught myself doing that a handful of times. It was like yesterday when I was posting that video. I was very tempted to wait till like the end of the week to post the video because like I just posted a short on Sunday, and it's like I just posted a video. I should wait it out a bit more, but no, it's a fun video and I like it and it's complete. I'm yeah, sure, I'll post the thing right now. And so yeah, and then there was also like in my episode with the digital game master, I had a fun idea. I decided I was going to make a music video, and I did it, and it was a blast. And I fit it in. It maybe could have been done more, but I did it how I wanted to do it. And you know, you don't see many music videos in videos. Honestly, I see a lot more on Orthoblocks than I kind of expected. You know, we have a lot of musically talented people here. But yeah, it's like in a normal traditional video, like in my normal videos, you're not gonna get a music video like that. But I had an idea and I ran with it, and it's amazing. So yeah, don't ever feel pressured to fit in with a system. Yeah, perfection is the enemy of happiness. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's like you should never do anything like, and this is like a life hack. Never do anything for others. Like, you do it for yourself. If you don't like content creation, don't do it. It's
Absolutely.
it's like you can't, or if you going into content creation and thinking, okay, I'm gonna hit big, like the first thing, your first goal, you won't succeed, because if you don't believe in you firstly, why would anyone else believe in you? Like, that's, you have to have some depth to it.
Yeah. And I'll expand on that, and like when you do things, it can be tricky when you do things for the fun and they do very well. It can be very tempting to like pursue those because they perform so well. Like chasing the views essentially.
Yeah.
Like I had that happen with my my Cronat special. Because I did that. That was I made that video in 3 days. I made a short film in 3 days to jump in on an April Fool's joke, and I was gonna make it look like I was gonna do a full series, and nope, it's just a silly one-off video, and it was amazing, and I loved it to death. But it performed so well, and I struggled for a while on like I could actually make this a real thing, but in reality, I don't want to carry on that story much, and so I've had to really rein myself in to like not chase those views, because I don't think if I actually did it like as a real full thing, I could do it well, at least right now.
Yeah.
And so
and you can also get, like, when you get few views on a video that it's not normal,
exactly,
and you get like in a video you get like, wow, I got so many views on this video for like, and you're like, and then you think, and then you post the next video and you're like, oh, it was just that video.
Exactly. Yeah, you can get like very demotivated. Like, okay, what am I doing wrong? It's like I was performing so well, and now it's back to nothing. And it's no, you just hit a bump in the road. Like
and it's
in truth,
okay.
that's what happens sometimes. And yeah, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, it's like if did you like I usually say like did you enjoy making that video? Like it's
Mhm.
if the answer is yes, then it's okay
Yeah.
because you make it for yourself, really. Like
Yeah.
firstly, like when I do a video, I make it for myself and then I make it for the others. That's like a byproduct. If you like it, that's fine. If you don't like it, that's fine. It's okay not
Mhm.
liking what I do. And you can like do well on a video, but don't change yourself just because of that video. It's be true to yourself. That's what the
Mhm.
kid says.
Yeah.
um, yeah. So thank you, Plasma, for this
Mhm.
little sit down, getting into depth with who you are. I think it's something that's really unique, and I think your take on content creation is actually like really cool because it's like a breath of fresh air. It's not
Thank you.
it's going against the grain a little bit, and I know we have
Mhm.
few people on the server that does that, and this is why I like Unorthoblocks because we really
Mhm.
allow different kind of content creation creators to be on this
Yeah.
platform, and you don't really it's not a challenge because we all want the what's
Mhm.
best for the server. So thank you for sitting down with me. If you want to go over and check Plasma out, I think it will be in the description below. Like and subscribe to the channel,
Mhm.
and all of that. So thank you. Well, all right. That was an amazing discussion with just Plasma Hero and his way of thinking. I hope you learned a little bit more about him and his passions about content creation and Minecraft and everything like that. So, yeah, in the next episode, you will see who is gonna be up in the hot seat. I have been the real better teacher, and you, my lovely people, yes, you have been you. Thank you, Unorthodox channel, for giving me this platform. Going over, like and subscribe. Go over and follow every team member of Unorthodox in the description below.